Hey guys, how's it going? Just gonna do a quick uh, put together review on the new GameCube controllers that were released today, November 21st, on the same day that Smash for Wii U came out. A lot of people have been kind of anticipating the relaunch of the new GameCube controller. So here it is. I bought two from EB Games. They were running pretty low on stock, so the demand's pretty high. Um, So here's what it comes like with a Wii U sort of box. I'll go over the unboxing first, and then I'll go over the technical feel of it and whatnot a little bit later on. So I bought two. I already opened one, and if you ever bought the white controllers, you'll probably notice that the lids are kind of really crappy in this one. And I guess if you reuse the boxes for storing your controllers to tournaments and whatnot, then you might care about that. But I think most people don't care. This one actually comes with a warranty, unlike the white ones. I don't think it came with a manual of any sort, so that's kind of interesting. But I think most people will probably just buy a new controller rather than trying to RMA it back to Nintendo and whatnot to take advantage of the warranty. But who knows? Anyways, okay, straight to the controller. So as most people probably already know, the cord length is ridiculously long. So if you weren't a fan of the the white controller cord length, then this might bother you as well. It's really long to unwrap during tournaments, but it is nice such that you can sit further away from the setup and whatnot. And to show you in comparison, I got the new one right here on the right side and the old classic black controller on the left side. It's a comparison of cord lengths, and it kind of ends right there, and well, it's kind of running out of focus, but you can see it ends where about the soccer ball is, so it's about like a third longer. Alright, anyways, so as soon as I open this, one thing that several people have commented on is the feel of the shells. It definitely feels different from the original black ones. It's got a more slippery feel to it. It's got some sort of glossy matte on it or whatnot. I think a lot of people might not be used to this. It's going to be pretty slippery. It can kind of slip out of your hands if you're not careful. So it's probably going to take some time to get used to. Buttons are pretty stiff. Feels like a new white controller in that aspect. Pretty much similar to a new white controller, but I'm not sure if they use the same stick box. It feels a little different. When you buy a new white controller, they're much stiffer than these, but you'll still have to break these in nevertheless. Shoulder buttons also feel a little different. They feel looser and easier to press, and I don't know if they use different triggers or whatnot. I might open one up later on since I have two to inspect if they use different parts compared to like the white controllers and previous GameCube controllers or not. But I'll probably do some play testing first before I do that. One of the biggest things that bothered me, and I showed this to Kason as well, which bothered him, is the shells don't really match up properly, and so the lower shell seems to be slightly bigger than the top shell or whatever you call it. So it doesn't really line up nicely along this edge here. So you can feel this like hard mismatch along here, and it's the same thing on the right side too. I don't know if it's like that for all of them or if I just got a defective one. Maybe this didn't come out properly from the mold in the factory or whatnot, but that's pretty annoying, especially if you're holding your controller and you suddenly cut yourself along here. Or I can see that as you play over time, grime and like dead skin and dust can get into this groove easier because it's not matched properly. So that can be kind of annoying. Alright. Other than that, that's pretty much the immediate out of the box feel. There's a Smash logo. It almost feels a little bit third party-esque because it no longer has a Nintendo GameCube logo across from it. But other than that, though, at least there's a reliable source of controllers. Again, even if they're not that great in quality, you can get used to it and just always have new controllers on demand. Should I do some play testing? I guess I might as well. I got Kason's Cube turned on here. Plug it in. What to do? Alright, so it plugs in a little easier than the white controllers. It doesn't have that sort of stiffness to it and whatnot. Loose. Alright, I guess I'll mainly show the controller. You don't really need to see the gameplay too much. I guess what a lot of people will care about is whether or not the control stick feels any different. A lot of people have said that it's easier to shield drop with the white controller control sticks because there are different stick box and whatnot. But anyways, I'll just do some quick, just give you my first impression of how it feels and whatnot. Okay, Battlefield. How am I gonna do this? I'm holding a freaking camera phone here. What if I go like this? Alright, this is gonna be kind of shady, but anyways. Ooh. Okay, this feels really weird. It feels really light. So they definitely use some sort of lighter plastic as well. So aside from changing like the feel of it, it also the weight is different. It feels a lot lighter than the white and the other controllers. So, oh yeah, and some people were wondering how rumble feels, like Summon Fist, so I'll test that. Yeah, the buttons press in pretty easily, especially the shoulder buttons, and the fact that it feels lighter just feels different, that's for sure. Whether or not this is good or bad will be up to preference, personal preference. Options, rumble, alright. Alright, so rumble feels pretty much the same. I'll play like a quick 10 seconds on it. I'm not a rumble player myself, so maybe rumble fanatics will say, oh, it doesn't feel the same or whatnot. It's very responsive, and it already feels pretty broken in. I like how the stick feels right now. Dashing is a little awkward, but I don't know. Yeah, overall it feels pretty solid. The big things you're going to notice are probably the shoulder buttons and the feel of the plastic, which is pretty slippery for my hands anyways, and if you get them shell, misalignment might be a problem. I might do a video where I open it up and compare the parts later on, but I'm sure someone more keen will do that, especially since I don't have a tri-wing here right now. Anyways, that's all.